She was lying in the rain, trembling beside her broken wheelchair, whispering through her tears, "Please, don't hurt me, I can't move." The man who towered above her was covered in tattoos, leather jacket soaked, and his motorcycle's engine still rumbling behind him. People watching thought he was trouble. But what he did next made the whole world cry. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Story Sphere, and stay till the end, because what happens in the final moments will restore your faith in humanity. Rain poured over the cracked city sidewalk as the evening traffic roared past. The streets smelled of gasoline and wet concrete. Among the blinding headlights and hurried feet, a young girl lay beside a toppled wheelchair, her school bag soaked through, her trembling hands clutching her arm. Her name was Lila, 16 years old, paralyzed from the waist down since a car accident 3 years earlier. Her world had shrunk to her small apartment, her mother's double shifts, and the wheels that carried her everywhere. But that night, even those had betrayed her. Her wheelchair's front wheel had snapped while she was crossing near the old bridge. The sudden jerk threw her to the ground. The rain drenched her clothes and hair, but what scared her most wasn't the cold, it was the sound of boots approaching. From the dark corner of the street, a massive figure emerged, a man in a black biker jacket, tattoos crawling up his neck, helmet tucked under his arm. He had a beard, a deep scar under his eye, and a presence that made people move aside without a word. His name was Ryder, a 30-year-old biker with a past that haunted him. Lila looked up, terrified. "Please, don't hurt me, I can't move," she cried, her voice shaking. Ryder stopped in his tracks. For a moment, he just stared. He had seen fear before, in others and in himself. But this was different. He knelt down slowly, rain dripping from his hair. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said softly, his voice low but gentle. "I'm here to help." She didn't believe him at first. Who would? A biker in the middle of a storm, at night, next to a crying disabled girl, it looked wrong from every angle. He glanced at her broken wheelchair, then at her scraped hand. "Can I lift you? Just to get you out of the rain?" Lila hesitated, then nodded weakly. Ryder's leather gloves were cold, but his touch was careful, almost fatherly. He lifted her into his arms and carried her beneath the bridge. She was light, far too light. "What happened to your chair?" he asked. "It broke. I was going home from tutoring. My mom's working late," she whispered. He sighed, crouching beside the wheelchair. "This thing's seen better days." "I can't afford another one," she said quietly. "Mom said maybe next month." Ryder stared at the broken metal for a long time. He wasn't a rich man. He worked nights at a bike garage and rode with a club that wasn't known for good deeds. But something about the girl's trembling voice cracked something open inside him, something he thought was long gone. He remembered another rainy night years ago, when his little sister had called him for help, and he hadn't answered. She died that night in an accident. He'd been running from that guilt ever since. Now, seeing Lila struggling, something inside him whispered, "Not this time." "I'll fix it," he said. She blinked. You can fix it." He nodded, pulling a wrench from his saddlebag. "You'll be rolling again before sunrise." And under the flickering streetlight, in the pouring rain, the tattooed biker knelt beside a broken wheelchair and started to work. People walking by slowed down, staring. Some even took out their phones, but Ryder ignored them. He cleaned the bent axle, replaced a bolt from his bike's toolkit, and wrapped the broken joint with steel wire. When he finished, he tested it, smooth, sturdy. "There," he said, smiling faintly. "Good as new." Lila's eyes widened. "You fixed it, just like that." He shrugged. "Metal's metal. You just have to know how to listen to it." Before he could stand up, she asked, "Why did you help me?" The next day, Lila woke to the sound of her mother calling her from the kitchen. "Lila. You need to see this." Confused, she wheeled herself over to the old laptop. The screen was open to a social media post. It showed a biker kneeling in the rain, fixing a wheelchair while a girl watched under a flickering streetlight. The caption read, "Last night, I saw a biker stop in the storm to fix a broken wheelchair." The girl was crying. He didn't ask for thanks, just helped and left. Faith in humanity, restored. The post had millions of views. Comments flooded in, "This man deserves the world, angels wear leather too," and "Someone find this biker." Lila's heart raced. "Mom, that's him. That's Ryder." But Ryder wasn't looking for fame. He was in his garage, fixing an old Harley, when his phone buzzed nonstop. His club mates teased him. "Hey, hero. You're all over the internet." He frowned. "What?" They showed him the video. He stared in disbelief. It was him, clear as day. The rain, the girl, the wheelchair. His eyes softened, but he felt uncomfortable. He didn't do it for attention. He just wanted to help. Later that day, there was a knock on his garage door. When he opened it, Lila and her mother stood there, holding a small cake with "Thank you" written in shaky icing. "I wanted to say thank you in person," Lila said, smiling shyly. "And also, the world wants to meet you." Ryder chuckled. "The world can wait. You doing okay?" She nodded. "Actually, better. My school principal saw the video. They're getting me a new wheelchair, a motorized one. And a scholarship." He blinked, speechless. "That's incredible." She grinned. "It's because of you. Sometimes, the people who look the roughest carry the gentlest hearts."